everyone, my name is Emily Ball, and today I will be sharing with you the process for manufacturing a jewelry and makeup box using wood cutting, sewing, and wire bending to create 3 unique custom components. Let's get started.
Starting off, I made a quick CAD drawing and sketch to get the dimensions before I started cutting. Then I moved on to cutting all of the pieces for the box, including the box panels, drawer panels, and face panels. The wood used was MDF sheets that were 1/4 of an inch thick and 2 feet by 4 feet in length and width. Since I do not have any experience in wood cutting, I recruited my dad to help me learn how to use the tools safely. I used a table saw and a miter saw on the initial cuts, finishing off this first part with using a router to create the chamfered edges of the drawer face panels. Next up is sewing the fabric inserts for each of the 5 drawers. I first sewed the edges, making sure to leave a small hole to turn the pocket right side out. As I was turning the fabric right side out, I made sure to push the edges of the fabric in to make a sharp corner. I then stuffed the pocket with some polyfill before sewing the lines in a crisscross pattern to keep the polyfill in place, as well as decrease the thickness of the insert. Going back to the box and router, I created a template to use to make the cutouts for the drawers. After each cutout was made, I had to pry the face carefully off the template that was held together with pins. Both of the side panels of the box were then given runners for the drawers to sit on using a pin nailer. The drawers were assembled using wood glue, pins, and clamps. The edges were then sanded with a belt sander that was clamped by a vise, which helped remove the pins that ended up getting shot out of the sides. The glue, pin, and sanding process was then repeated for the drawer face, but this time I cut off the majority of the pin before sanding. The box was then sanded down using a sanding block. I was then able to paint the box and drawers before using a tape measure and center finder tool to mark where the holes for the knobs will be drilled using a drill press. The inserts were then placed in the drawers and put into the box. My final custom component involved wire bending hooks out of 16 gauge annealed tie wire. First, I had to bend a piece of the wire in half before moving on to bending the bottom into a hook shape. Then the wire was bent to about a 90-degree angle before being bent around a screw. After completing that step, the wire was twisted twice and then bent around again to fit the top of the 1/4 inch MDF. This process took a lot of small tweaks before the pattern was correct. And there you have it, a finished makeup and jewelry box.